Hi everyone, and welcome to another part of the Web3.js tutorials. In this part we're going to head over to Testnet and create our project from scratch here using Testnet. So we need to copy and paste most of the parts, but notice that we want to also keep this private key somewhere safe inside of the .env file so that not everyone can have access to it. And also we will keep this API key private. So for now, in order to make that happen, in our folder of our projects, I'm going to create a new folder and I'm going to call this testnet. Here we go. And here I'm going to open up a new terminal and I'm going to first of all run npm init. So here you can call the package name testnet and the version 1, description not anything needed. You can call this index.js, the entry point, and the test command nothing needed, and press enter. Here I will call this Arashtad, and here we go. Click yes to proceed, and here we go. So now we need to install the packages. So I can what I can do here, because we need the very same packages that we have instead of our previous project, I can take a look at the package.json and take a look at the packages versions. So npm install sulk, and then I need to install this specific version. So now here I'm gonna switch to the terminal, and here I can follow the versions. So npm install or something else that you can do, you can just copy and paste your package, the JSON, to any folder that you have created, then run npm install. Is totally up to you, but here let's do it one by one so that you don't miss anything. So sulk at 0.8.0. This is the same version as Solidity, and we'll wait for it to get installed. Also, we're going to install npm install web3 at 1.5.2 and click enter. So let's see what the problem is. So in most cases, no matching version found for this version. So interestingly, we've got it, but not sure why we're getting this. So anyway, let's try again. Let's also install .env package. So .env. Okay, it's been installed, and .env is for the privacy of your private key and so on. So now let's take a look at what the problem is with web3. Oh, here we haven't written web3, this is just web, and that's why it's happening. So let's wait for it to happen, and after a few seconds it will be completed. So now it's been installed, and now let's take a look at our package.json inside of this new folder. We've got node modules and package log.json. So here, just as we've mentioned, we should create a new file called index.json. So once we create a project, we will tell this what is the entry point, and it's index.js. So we'll create a new file, call it index.js. So touch index.js, and as you can see, this file is created. And now we can open it up with VS Code by running code space dot. And once that is done, it will be opened up, and so you can trust the others and close all the windows and maximize the page. So as you can see, it's empty. Now all we need to do is to also copy and paste the smart contract from here. So simple token.sol from here to the testnet folder. Make sure you paste it here, and the rest of the files are related to deploy data.json and contract data.json, which will be created once we run the project. So right now what we need to do is to copy and paste the code in here to our new file. So let me copy them all and paste them over here. And in this previous project, I'm going to press Ctrl Z in order to turn back to our Ganache HTTP provider to keep this project local. I'm going to save this, and now we need nothing more from here, but I'm going to keep it open in case we need it. So anyway, now we're in this project. Let me open the terminal as well and also save the project. So here we've got this new HTTP provider from Sepolia Infura, which is Sepolia, and now we want to actually let me uncomment this part. So we need to take all of the steps we took for localnet, and so what I mean by that, we need to first of all compile our project, deploy our project, and get the balance, transfer token, promise, get the balance, and so on. So also we need to compile the project, right? So let me see if we've got anything for compiling. So no, because we need to compile it once, and no matter you do it on whether you do it on testnet or mainnet, because here we don't use Web3. This is just the Solc library, and that is why we do not need that at all. So another thing we need to take care of is these addresses right over here. Also, because we don't want to compile it, we can just compile by just calling the function compile, but we don't need to do that necessarily because we've got whatever we want from the local compile, because these two are not different from each other. They both will produce the same end result, which is ABI and bytecode, because this simple token.sol hasn't changed, and as a result the contract data.json, which is a result of compiling the smart contract, hasn't also changed. So let me close this and copy this file, bring it up in here and testnet. So we've got it, and there's no need to compile the project anymore. Anyway, we've got that as well. So let me see here what's missing. So now we need to update the addresses from here, also the private key. And before I do that, I need to import the library related to .env files. So we'll write require, and here we'll write .env, and then we'll have .config, and open the parentheses, and here we go. That's it. So here we've imported the library for the environment variables, and we can use it in order to save our private key somewhere safe. So we can write const private key here, const private key, as you can see, and instead of this I can write process.env, private key. So here we will write private key this way, private underline key, and then you might wonder what this is and why do we write it this way. This is because we're going to create a new file called .env. So what we need to do is to run touch.env. So once we do that, we should be seeing here, let me check. Probably need to get in and get back. We should be able to see the .env file here. Let me check the folder. So we're in a testnet and we haven't yet got .env file. So let me create it manually here. So I'm gonna call this .env. Oh, it's actually a folder. Let me create a file and call this .env. Here we go. Oh, it's being created, or okay, no, it's been we just created. So no difference here. What we need to write is, let me save this one. So what we need to write is the private key, private underline key, and make this equal to, so it should be equal to, there's no space between them, so this should be equal to the private key, right? So we need to copy the private key from our wallet from here. So if you're wondering where the private key here is, you just need to head over to actually let me find here. Should get it from here, I think. So connect sites, and so you actually need to head over to here, so you can just take a look at account, and here account details. So you can click on show private key, enter your password. Notice that if you have forgotten your password, you can reset it by having your mnemonic keys. So that's why the mnemonic keys are really important. So once you confirm, you will be able to see your private key. All you need to do is to copy it and paste it inside of the .env file, which is here, and it should be inside of the string. So write it this way and then paste it. So I'm going to do that, but I'm going to just stop the video and then continue after I copy it and paste it inside of my file. So now I've done that, and here, as you can see, I've got my private key. Here you cannot see it anymore. I have just placed it inside of the .env file instead of a string. So that's it for the private key, and we can just copy our address from here, or address from here, no difference. So let me just take a look, and here was our address. Notice that it might be a bit hard for you to get it from your wallet. If you're wondering how to do it, maybe if you copy this from here, it doesn't work. You can just head over to the account details, and from here you can just copy and paste it manually to wherever you want. Anyway, we're gonna do this. I'm gonna copy it from here and paste it in my file like this. So we can just get a wallet from somewhere else and paste it over here. I'm gonna do that just quick. So in order to do that, I may need to take a look at this here, and so let me take a look at this smart contract, copy it, search it, paste it over here. I've got another account that I can take a look at. So let me get it from my browser. So now I'm gonna paste the address of my second account here. So I've got the two accounts and also the private key, so I can continue with the rest of the process. And so let me save the project and check whether it works. So I think that everything is ready for us to go and continue. So what I need to do is to run node index.js. So we may need to wait a little bit, because here we are on testnet. In testnet, it takes more time for each of these steps to continue, so it takes some time for the deployment. As you can see, we've deployed it, and this is the address. Now we can take a look at the address inside of the Etherscan. So I can just copy it, and as you can see, this is the transaction that has happened. So this is a transaction receipt. Now I can just take a look at this one inside of the Etherscan. So let's head over to Etherscan and take a look at this smart contract. So as you can see, we've got a transfer and we've got a contract creation address, and if you take a look at the age, you can see it just happened 25 seconds ago. So that's it. And also we've got token transfer, ERC20, and other things. So let's get into this one, and as you can see, we can click on show more and also take a look at the state. So these are some of the information that you might need. Nonce is this address. We've managed to transfer the tokens to from this address to another address, and also other things has been successful. You can also see the status, which is successful here, block, timestamp, and other kind of data. So I'm looking for the number of tokens too, so let me take a look here. So I think this is that number. So let's take a look at the token amounts inside of our code. I think it was 2000 tokens. And also notice that here we should change this time to something about 10 seconds or maybe 15 seconds, because it takes even more time for this transaction to happen and then make you able to proceed with the rest. So let me just save this and run the project one more time. Notice that every time we run it, a new contract will be created and then a new transfer will be done. So we will need to copy that address once again and take a look at the details. So as you can see, the address here is different from the previous one. I'm going to copy it. So ABI has been written file. Actually, this is not ABI, this is the deploy data, right? This is the deploy TX. It's been written incorrectly. So this is also the balances of the two accounts for the new token that has been created. So it will wait for this transfer to happen and then call this again. And this is also the history of the smart contract. So these are 2,000 tokens that I said earlier that for the previous one happened here. So if I paste it over here, as you can see, it's a new contract and the same things has happened for this one too. So that's it for this part, for this video, and for this part of our tutorial. Up to here, we've managed to also work with the testnet and also save our private key somewhere safe so that nobody sees it, and also be able to see the details of the past logs of that smart contract, that specific address. So until the next video, goodbye.